Hi guys, so today I'm going to be showing you this project that I've been working on. It's a vase that I made for a girl. So this is it. I decorated with some flowers on the top. And we bring you guys in a little closer. So these are the flowers. Made them with lots of different colors. I did a dark to light, kind of to make them look like they're blooming. And they're hot glued onto this floral wire, and the wire's wrapped in floral tape to give it more of a, I guess, realistic look. And then I stuffed some cotton here in the mouth of the vase to hold all the flowers together so they don't move around. And then this is the body of the vase. Right. It's just the same design. Alright. So, yeah, I'll show you guys how I did it. So this is what the vase is supposed to look like in the end. To make it, you'll need 706 white pieces, 90 yellow, 150 red, and 270 purple. Now these are the colors that I chose. You can choose other colors that you want. So to start this project, I suggest you build the base at least 3 tiers at a time, because as you make the base wider, it'll naturally curve and become harder to extend. So if you take a look at the diagram, you'll see that the first column of pieces are 3 purples, and what we can do is, using one of our purple stacks, we'll pull off the first piece and put it over one of the points on the piece below, and then we'll take both of them and put on the third piece below. So then we end up with kind of a staircase pattern. So now that we have our first set of 3, we repeat that for the next 7 sets until we have our first group of 8 by 3 pieces. So now that we have our 8 sets of 3, we want to combine them so they look like this. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm taking the first piece and the second piece, and I'm sticking the second one under the first, like so. Right, so it's just like that. Now when you do this, you want to make sure that the pieces are in firm. You don't have to pack them in super tight, but you want to make sure that they don't move around and they don't fall apart. So just like that, we now have 2 of these pieces. And they should be exactly identical. Now for the sake of time, I'm not going to make all 6, but here I have 4, and so to combine them, we're just doing the same thing. We're taking number 2, and we're sticking it underneath number 1, like that. So we have an arc. And we take number 3, stick it under number 2. Number 4 under number 3. So in the end you should have something that looks like this, but a little bigger. Yours should be 6 base groups long, mine's only 4. And you can tell that it's already starting to curve. If you're using 6 base groups, it'll actually start wrapping around itself. And so at this point, you may actually want to start adding in a 4th row on top to keep all the pieces together, because as you try to add on the other 2 base groups, the pieces will actually start falling apart, and it'll be very difficult to continue. As you add more rows, the vase will continue to jut outwards, but eventually it'll start to curve inwards and form the sides of the vase. Once you finish all 18 rows, you can work on the neck. The neck of the vase is made just like the body, except that it's 24 pieces in circumference, as opposed to 48, and it's 13 pieces high, as opposed to 18. Remember to make sure that your pieces are placed firmly together, otherwise you'll end up with a vase that looks like this, where it's uneven and kind of ugly. You may also notice that your vase seems to twist towards one side. In this picture it's to the left. To prevent this, you'll want to alternate the direction in which you place your rows. Do one row clockwise, and then the next one counterclockwise, and just keep alternating between the 2. Now don't worry about shaping the base or the neck until the very end, after they're both completely built. So as you build up to the top of the base, you'll notice that it's getting crowded. You'll want to start doing diminishing rows around, I'd say row 15 or 16, and skip every 4 or 6 pieces. I can't remember exactly which row I started on or how many pieces I skipped, so you'll want to play around with it because I made the diagram after I'd finished the vase, and as I'm making this video I've already given the vase away, so I can't really remember what I did, so play around with it. Now don't worry about shaping the base or the neck until the very end, after they're both completely built. Alright, to get the base to bulge out, you simply hold the vase like this, put your thumbs in the center, and just push out. And use your fingers to just kind of peel it backwards. You can also grip it by the bottom and the top, and just kind of gently squeeze so the top and bottom shrink while the middle just continues to be pushed out. So for the neck, instead of pushing the middle out, you actually push it inwards like this, pushing it in, and then you can also grip it by the middle and squeeze to make the middle part narrower. And you also want to, again, just kind of peel the top out, peel the bottom out, and continue to squeeze the middle so you get that nice slender neck. Once you have an hourglass figure and the neck is firm, put a book on top of it and squeeze the middle to make it narrower, and as the book rests on top and you're squeezing the middle, it'll actually accentuate the opening. So you can leave the book resting on top of the neck for hours until it finally retains the shape that you want it to. And once you've decided that the curve that you have is good enough, take off the top row and add a little glue, just a little bit, and put it back on. Put the book back on top and it'll make the inverse almost permanent. Now to get the ring around the top of the vase, you just take 2 stacks of pieces, put one on top of the other, make sure it's tight, and just kind of bend it like that into a circle, and just squeeze onto the sides to tighten it. Now you can cheat by putting it around a can or some other round object to make it a perfect circle. I don't remember exactly how many pieces I used, but it was about 40, I would say. If you want to use less, then just space these pieces out further. If you want to use more, then just tighten it. So once you have your base, your neck, and the ring finalized, you want to put a little glue right here on the tip. Put some glue on the base of the neck, put that on top. Put a little glue on the top of the neck, and a little glue on the bottom of the ring. Stack them together, put another book on top, leave it overnight, and you're done. So overall, it's not a very difficult project per se. It does require a lot of time and patience though. Folding the triangles took me at least 3 weeks, I would say. No, maybe 4. Just folding them in my spare time. Building the vase itself took, I'd say at least a week, because I built it and then I had to deconstruct it at least 5 times because I couldn't get all the pieces right. Sometimes the bowl would be lopsided or it wouldn't be curved enough. The hard part was just getting all the pieces in line, making sure that the bowl area was rounded, that the neck was inverted, and the flowers themselves took maybe another week just to cut them all, fold them all, and then hot gluing. I hope you guys found this useful. If you do decide to make a vase and flowers, definitely send me a picture or a video because I would love to see it. So if you guys couldn't tell, I actually made this vase several weeks ago, almost a month ago actually, hence the changing of clothes. If you guys want to see more pictures, feel free to check out my WordPress right here. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Facebook. And if you really like this video, please give me a thumbs up so I know. That's really all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.